So, okay, we've got several things we're going to do today. So let me hop on here so that I can see your comments, because my phone doesn't want to show the comments. And let me just share this real fast, and then we'll get started. So we're going to ombre a tumbler. Can y'all hear that? My cat's in the background. He wants in here so bad. So anyways, we are going to ombre a tumbler with red and green and yellow. Sorry, I'm trying to get this shared over onto the group. If you aren't a part of the group, it is called Cardinal Rose Creations, or Cardinal Rose, oh gosh, my mind just totally went blank, I'm so sorry. Cardinal Rose Creations Tumbler Tutorials. It's the same pretty much as our YouTube channel. So if you aren't a part of that, that's where I post my finished tumblers, so that you can see those, and also sometimes I'll do lives in there instead of on YouTube. You can go live in there, you can post your creations. I love to see everything that you guys make, that you've learned anywhere, but especially from me. So we're going to be using 3 different colors. I'm using Pickles. This is from Glitter Glams. And then we're using Marine Red, and this is from Glitter Glams as well. And then I'm going to be using Second Breakfast, which is a yellow. And that one is from Ever After Glitters. So I have you on my tablet just to make sure that I can see your comments, but no one's commented yet, so I don't know if I can or cannot. But we're going to do an easy, it's a pretty easy method of ombre. So you're going to need some things. You're going to need your glitters. We're doing a 3 ombre glitter on this one. And then you're going to need some Mod Podge. It does not matter what kind it is. I'm using gloss, but that's just because that's what my Walmart had. I'm using a 1-inch brush, but you can use whatever brush you want. You're also going to need a T-ball. These little things come from Walmart. You can get them for like $3 at Walmart, and they have this little clasp, and they open, and this is how I'm going to get my ombre. And they come with a little string, so if you're worried about dropping it, it comes with a string that you could leave on your finger and then hold it to use it. And then you're going to need a cup, and for the colors that I have chosen today, I have chosen to use a flat white primer, because that is going to let my yellow show through really well. So that's what I've done for today. So we're ready to get started. Hopefully we'll get some people on, and maybe somebody will comment so that I can make sure that, whoops, I can see your comments in case you have any questions along the way. I'm totally open to any questions that you have, or comments, or whatever. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and open my glitters. I have poured out my Mod Podge into a little thing, and you're also going to need a sheet of paper, and that is going to be to catch your glitters. So I buy these papers at Walmart. They're just the like craft paper for kids, and so it's cheap for a bunch. And then some people use parchment paper. They say that it slides off better, so that's great too. I see several people getting on now, so if you'll drop a comment and say hello, I would love to see who's here, and make sure that I can also see those comments. So you just need to figure out what order you want your glitter to go in before you ever start. And I want to do the green at the bottom. This is for a weed cup, so that's why we're doing these colors. The yellow in the middle, and then the red on the top. So I'm going to start on my bottom, and this is a dented cup, but that's what the customer gave this one to me to use, and the glitter should pretty well cover it. So I'm not too worried about it, and they know that I'm not responsible for any damage here on out. So just make that disclaimer if you're going to use customer cups, that you're not responsible for any damage or anything that happens. Okay, so I'm just going around the bottom of the cup with my Mod Podge, trying to keep it similar, or pretty smooth, and kind of keeping the line as even as I can going around. I'm just going to go back through and make sure that everything's smoothed out, because if it's not, you're going to end up having lumps in your glitter, and you don't want that. Don't worry about the lines at this point. We will fix that later. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour on my green glitter, making sure I get those rims really well. You want to make sure you get those rims. So. Alright, and then I'm just tapping off the excess glitter, and you can see here that I didn't do a very great job of Mod Podging my cup. That is kind of an issue, but we will come back to that issue shortly. But again, don't worry about your lines, okay? So I'm going to sit my cup down. I'm going to get rid of this glitter. We're going to move on to the next one. Are you serious? There's something wet. So done my paper wet. So I'm just going to get a new piece of paper because that is wet and I don't want it getting all over my glitter. Alright, so then we move on to the next color. We'll come back and we'll fix the unevenness of that here shortly. But for now, I just want to get this on. So I'm just going to go around, and I just kind of want them to be kind of evenly spaced. You know, I don't want one to be super big or wide, and then the other one to be not. So I'm trying to keep them similar in width, if possible. And then I'm just going to fill in the area. I'm going to try to do a better job on this one so we don't have to do a second coat. The second coats are sometimes needed, and it's okay. I'm going to try to start coming to you guys more on live. I finally got my room all set up, so I think things will run a little smoother than being in my laundry room. I have more room to spread out in here. So I'm just putting on my yellow. Oh, that's such a pretty yellow color, like for real. Just pulling out the green, the yellow from the green. Now, I did miss some spots, and that's okay. We have to do a second coat on that other one anyways, so it's just not a huge deal. Okay. So we're going to go and do a second coat anyways. Let's put our glitter back in our container. Okay. And we're going to move on to the next color. We're going to move on to the red, and then we'll go back in and we'll do the second coat. And then once the second coat is done, I will show you how we're going to ombre this. I promise we'll get to the ombre, but I wanted to show you the full process, not just the ombre process. So I know some people need to see that and some people don't, and that's fine. So for the ones that needed to see the first part of it, I went ahead and did all of it. Okay, just making sure that everything is smooth. Once it's smooth, we'll put on our red. I like to kind of get that top rim first because it seems like it's always the first to dry. And I want that nice rim going on, so. I should probably point it out down so you can see a little better. Sorry, I don't know about that. I don't really need to see my face. Okay. So now we have the general idea of the cup. We have the 3 colors. Alright, so I'm going to pour this back in. We're going to go back in and do our second cup, but I am going to lean you down just a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit better, and I apologize for not doing that sooner. Alright, so now that we have that, I just kind of blow it off just to kind of help get any of the excess off. And now I'm just going to very gently, because this has not had a lot of time to dry underneath, but I'm going to very gently go over it with Mod Podge. With a very light touch, because you don't want to move any of your glitter. And it should be dry enough that it's not a huge deal, but you really don't want to press down hard because you don't want to move anything around. If you're concerned about it, just wait until, wait about 20 to 30 minutes and let it fully dry, if you're concerned. Romeo, can you go away, please, and stop whining at the door? He's such a baby. He hates it whenever he's locked out of here very much. He wants to come here with me all the time. But he'll get on the desk and he'll just play and glitter. It wouldn't be a very good life. So I've only done this method of ombre one at a time. It turned out pretty good for me. So I'm hoping and praying, since I am on live, that this one will turn out just as well. Stop. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but my goodness. It's kind of annoying. Just going to keep going around, and then I'm going to go back and give the bottom rim some attention, just to make sure all it's nice and covered. Good thing is once you put it over a coat of glitter, you do have a little bit more working time with it than applying directly to the cup for whatever reason. I think it's because it holds more, but that's just a theory. It's not a set in stone thing. But it gives you a little more working time, because on stainless it just dries so fast. So I'm just going to make sure everything's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to go back and I'm just going to give my rim some attention, just to make sure that all of that has Mod Podge on it, and then I'll just kind of swipe it over just to make sure I don't have any chunky areas. Alright, so let's go ahead and apply this green again, so that we have our beautiful little ombre, or our beautiful color. It's not an ombre yet. This color is really good. Alright, and that looks really good. So now we have that complete coverage that we wanted on our green. Just gonna tap it off. I always do this. I always tap off, just it kind of gets some of the excess out of there, and all that extra loose glitter that shouldn't be there, it gets it off. So y'all feel free to say hi or ask questions, however, whatever. All right, so I'm going to go back in, and I'm gonna do the yellow. I'm just kind of blowing out the extra green. You don't have to blow on it if you don't want to. I know some people are like, what? I'm going to get that all over my office, my room. It's fine. You don't have to do that. I know people really don't like that, having glitter everywhere, but it's become a part of my home, so we kind of just live with it nowadays. Just trying to get some of that thing off my brush. I have a lot of bleedage everywhere. So this one I'm going to take a little bit more time with, just because I don't want to accidentally pull too much of the other colors into it. But it's the same concept. You don't have to worry about too much with the edges, because we're going to cover all of these edges where the colors meet in a little bit anyways. So don't stress over your edges too much at this point. This little white piece, I'm going to skip that for now because that'll dry super fast, and I'll get it in a minute once I'm done doing the full yellow. Hi Cindy, all the way in Mississippi. I have an uncle that lives out in Mississippi, but I've never been to Mississippi. I figure. I am all the way in Oklahoma. By the way, thank you for commenting that, because it allowed me to make sure that I could see comments, because I wasn't real sure before. So I appreciate that. I haven't really done too many of the YouTube lives yet, so I'm still kind of trying to learn how YouTube operates, the live function. So I just got that white piece. I'm just smoothing stuff down. Let me put this yellow on, Cindy, and I will show you what a T-ball is. Give me just a second. Let's not put too in. Right. That looks really good. So there's our green and there's our yellow. I know there's a little piece of white, but it's not a big deal because we're going to fix that in a minute with the ombre. Alright. So this is a T-ball. You put like leaf tea in it, and you can like dip it in your cup. It comes with like a chain on it, and so you would dip it in your cup to make tea. But we're going to be using this for ombre. It makes it super easy to get an ombre if you can't really manage to get one the other way, like naturally. So if you know how to get a natural ombre, by all means, you're a goddess and more power to you, but I cannot. And this is the only way that I have been able to find that I get a beautiful ombre with fines. Now, I can put a fine color on and get a beautiful chunky ombre over the top of it, but I cannot do the two fines together without this method. So, yeah. I struggle for real with that ombre stuff. But with this method, it's like so easy. that I can't even stand it. So I had to share. You're welcome, Cindy. Yeah, I didn't create this method. Someone else had the idea, but I saw them share it, and I had to go and share it with you all. Because I know, like, you don't always see everything in those Facebook groups. So, since I saw it, I thought I would share it. So we're just covering the red now, just to give it that second coat. That way everything has a nice second coat. This cup, and I hope that no one is offended by this, because you just never know anymore, but this is going to be a weed cup, and it is going to have an actual weed leaf on it. I'm a little nervous about that because I have never put a plant on a cup. So we shall see how that turns out too. Would y'all want me to stay live with y'all to put that on the cup, or just the ombre? I'm not sure what YouTube's policies are on that. I guess I should have checked that out too. But you could do the same method with like dried flowers, and I know people have put dried flowers on tumblers, but I haven't been able to find like a tutorial for it, so I don't know. I really don't know. But anyways, this was for a customer, and they provided the leaf and the cup, and I don't really judge people for their preferences, so I didn't turn the order down. Alright, so I think I've got this fully covered in Mod Podge. So now we're going to go ahead and sprinkle again with the red. Yeah, I saw her, Cindy, I did see her dried flower one, but this one isn't dried. And it's like very large, so I don't know how it would work if I dried it out, just because of the fact that they showed me one that they already had dried, and it was like super crispy, and there's no way it would roll around the wrap around the cup, because it would just break. It's too brittle, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if anybody's ever done one with like a fresh flower or whatever, is what I'm saying. Alright, so there's our cup. Pretty even around, as much as it's going to get on this first thing. I mean, if you need it, if it's super even, if you're like OCD or something, then by all means use some tape. But I'm not too bad about that. And this cup is going to be ombre, so it's going to hide all that anyway. Alright, so I did not bring my spray in here. Alright, so I'm just going to get rid of my Mod Podge because we're done with the Mod Podge. I'm going to get rid of my brush so that everything is out of my way. Okay, so there is one other thing you need that I forgot to mention in the beginning, and that is some kind of a spray adhesive. You can use the Loctite or whatever the other stuff is people are using to apply glitter with. That's fine too. This is just what I had on hand. Some people are using hairspray, and that's fine, but I don't have any hairspray in the house. But I did have this because I use this to make my Cricut mats sticky again so that they'll last longer for me. And so this is just what I'm going to use, but I'm just cleaning the tip real quick so that it will spray. So, alright, so here's what we need to do now. Let me grab, probably not the best thing I would use for this, but yeah, I do. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to being in this new space and learning where everything is and all of that. So I just have some little plastic medicine cups. I was going to use this little silicone one, but I'm afraid it would just, the glitter would just stick to it. So what you need to do is you need to make a mix of the two colors so that you can do the ombre in the middle. So I'm just going to mix in a little bit of red. And I probably won't need as much red because it's going with the yellow. And then stir it together, and you want to get a nice good even mix because this is going to be your middle color in between the two. A little bit more yellow. I don't want it to be too red because that red, just a little bit, it just takes over so easily. I probably should have done the yellow first and then added the red in. But then you can kind of like spill it on your table, and you can take this and look next to it and see if you like the mix in between it. And then if you don't, just add more of whatever color you think it needs. And I think mine needs more yellow because that red, I put too much red and it's taken over. So I'm probably going to have tons of this left, but that's okay. So I'm just going to try that on this. So I'll just put that back in there so I can stir it all up. And then if you get it on your cup and you don't like it, you can always add another coat and change up your mix. That's the other good thing. Alright, so then the other one we're going to be putting, let's go ahead and do yellow first. Let's not repeat the second part or the first part. I'm just going to put my yellow in, and then I'm going to just grab a popsicle stick full of green and mix it. And we'll mix more if we need more, but I don't want to do what I did with it. But once you figure like out what you like best and how much of each color you want, then I'm just going to kind of dump that right there and see what's in the green. It's easier to see it when you kind of lay it out. So I'm going to add just a touch more green in there because you don't really see the green very well. Okay, that's a lot better. Okay, let's get started. Oh, let's not dump that out. My goodness. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to take your T-ball and you're going to dump whatever color you want to start with in. Some of it is going to come out, and that is okay. And I probably won't even do all this. But. And then close your ball up and lock it into place. Now you can see some did fall out, and that's okay. Now it fits perfectly in these little medicine cups. So I'm going to sit it in there just so that it's not rolling around losing glitter everywhere. And then you want to take your cup and you want to use your spray, and you want to spray your line. Okay, so I'm going to, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. Let me just turn it so you can see. Oh, all right. So I'm just going to spray my lines. And I just go around the cup twice with my line. Okay. And then you take the T-ball, and this is easier if you have a turner and you can use your turner with it. But then you're just going to sprinkle it right in the middle. Until you're happy with it. And I may need more of it because it doesn't seem to be. The closer, the more like saturated it's going to be, and then the further away, the more it will ombre out for you. So I'm just working to cover my line right now. And then once I cover my line, I'll go back and work on the rest of it, getting it to fully ombre out. And I may need to spray some more glue just to get that line to disappear, and that's okay. Your line can only hold so much, but there's that for now. So I'm just going to spray it again. And I'm going to move that. Alright. So then again, I'm just close to it and I'm focusing on my line. I want my line covered. You can kind of bounce it if you want. You can tap it if you want. However works for you. And now my line is pretty well covered. It kind of looks like orange, right? So I'm just going to bounce this on the table just to knock any excess off. And then what I want to do, I'm going to put my cup down for just a second, is I'm going to dump all of my glitter back into my little cup. I'm just going to tap this just to get all that yellow and red out and get rid of this. And we're going to work on our green, getting that line to disappear, and then we will go through and blend it better. Okay? So now, again, same thing, pour in your green. Yes, come on. Just close it back up. And again, you just want to spray your green yellow line. Alright, so I've sprayed that, so I'm just going to tap right there and get that going. Get that line covered. Now, if you go too far to the bottom, don't worry about it. We're going to fix that in a minute. Right now, we're just focusing on the line. Just focus, focus, focus on the line. Alright, so I went all the way around, so now I need some more glue. And again, focusing on our line until that's gone. And we'll work on the ombre shortly. Right now we're just doing the line on here. I ran out of glitter. So I'm just going to open this up and set it in my cup and pour my glitter back in. Close it back. And we'll go back to working on it. Grab the cup. So just sprinkling in here. I can still see blue line. Okay. And then again, just top off the excess. If you can still see the line, go back over it with glue. One more time. These colors are probably not the best for this tutorial because they are harder to get to blend because it's yellow mixed with your other colors. But we can do this. Okay. I think now my line is pretty much gone and it kind of looks like a rainbow right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the ombre part now. So I'm going to just get all of this glitter out. Okay. And alright, so now what I want to do is I'm going to put a little bit of red in here. And it will fall out. It's okay. Let me close that up. And I'm going to spray right here on my red line. Because I don't like how the color looks. And so I want to ombre it just a little bit more down into that color. So I'm going to hold it from afar, and I'm just going to sprinkle, or just tap, so that it will ombre down a little bit better into those other colors, and kind of get rid of that red line that's going on there, just to make it ombre a little bit better. Alright, so I'm happy with how that looks there. You can kind of see, but it still looks a little orange, and that's okay. That's just what happens when you do these two colors together. Alright, so again, we're going to get rid of all of our glitter medicine ball, or the tea medicine ball. The tea ball, oh goodness. And we're going to move on to the green. And the same thing, we're going to work on that bottom ombre so that yellow doesn't come down as far as it does. So I'm just going to press it in, close this up, and spray my cup. Because if you can see here, that yellow, I just focused on that green line, and so the yellow is way up here, and I want that more green. So I'm going to spray that section. Okay. And then I'm going to hold it from afar, and I'm going to just sprinkle it on and let that green come up a little bit further, because I don't like how it's lost from all that yellow. Try not to lose your middle color though, like I just did. Alright, but we're going to put more yellow on anyway, so it's okay. So that's what we have so far. And then hopefully you can see that green, it's a really pretty ombre together. This worked a lot better with, I did a purple and white one, and it worked beautifully. I think it was stunning with this method. This is the first three color, and so I may have made those first sections a little too wide, but you get the gist and it works. So I'm just trying to get all that green off that. And so now I'm going to dump in yellow. Let me close up the book. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my yellow section. Alright, so now that the yellow section is done, I'm going to hold it from afar again, and I'm just going to start sprinkling it and try to get some of my yellow back while it'll still ombre it together. Okay, so you can see now it is pretty good. It's pretty well ombre in. I'm just going to kind of go over that green just a little bit, just to help blend that. Y'all see that okay? I don't like that this looks orange, but these are the colors that my client wanted, so this is what they shall get. So this is the process. Once you've got it complete, where you like it, and I almost do. There's only one other thing I really want to do, and I want to add some more of that red back in, because I kind of like the top one to ombre into the second one, and the second one ombre into the third, so I kind of don't like how that turned out. But otherwise, the idea is the same. And if you get them mixed right, and this yellow just didn't mix very well, what'll happen is you'll get a really good ombre from the jump, which helps because you won't end up having to go back in with the just plain colors. So I'm just gonna go back in with my red just a little bit, not a ton, because I don't want a ton. I just kind of wanted to tweak it just a little bit. You can even hold it down at an angle and it'll kind of help it fall a little bit better. But I don't want to move into the yellow too much. But so there's my ombre. Let's see if you can see it closer. It didn't work as well with these colors, but I mean it worked. Just not as well as I would hope. I don't like that orange line, but there's really not much I can do about that. So anyhow, I'm sure there's other tutorials on this, and they may have explained it a little bit better than me, because this is only my second time doing it. But I really hope that it helps somebody, and I hope that you try it and it works for you. I know it's worked well for me. So, anyways, I guess that's all I've got today, guys. So thanks for watching. I'm going to jump off here and seal this and see if I can't put some a wheat flour on it. So anyways, guys, thanks. See y'all next